I don't want. Go away. Whoever it is, you go away. No more buffet for you. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? John Hanson here, and with me is,
Chris Wilsey.
and we're back. We took a short break again, and back with the show, back with this, back with that, new stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to talk about because the beginning of the month was San Diego Comic Con, which had a lot of cool stuff that come out,
Holy shit.
and of course stuff we got this month, which I think I spent a little more money than Chris here. So
I don't know. Well, how much money altogether total did you spend?
about $310.
I probably, yeah, I probably spent maybe a little bit more than you because 2 weeks ago I got my bonus check from work, and I got a raise at work, so awesome, good for me. But
Nice.
yeah, dude, San Diego Comic Con, holy shit,
Fuck, dude. Like,
so much, and I didn't realize it was the 50th anniversary. It was San Diego Comic Con 50.
damn.
So
Didn't see
it's like
that.
no wonder why there was so much shit to show and so much going on.
I mean, Hall H from the announcements they did for the MCU. I heard a lot of good shit's gonna be coming out next year.
Did you notice that they changed the logo twice for the next Thor movie?
I know that. Yeah, yeah.
First it had like an 80s feel, and then it had like a more modern, retro-ish look to it.
I don't know.
But
I'm
that
like,
sounds interesting.
I can't honestly wait for Thor 4 because he's actually the one character that's still gonna be around.
Same actor too, right?
Same actor, Chris Hemsworth.
Perfect.
Natalie Portman is probably going to. I don't know how they're going to make her female Thor since in Thor Ragnarok the hammer got destroyed. It's going to be interesting to see how that happens. Are they going to recover everything and then figure out how to use the Uru to rebuild the hammer or something? Or
Probably, if they do have her as a female Thor, I think she might be pretty good at it. Because
oh
she's kind of
yeah,
cute, but I still want a female Thor that's like fucking hot looking. It's like, woo.
yeah.
But
It's gonna be interesting. It really is. It's gonna be
I
interesting.
am looking forward to Doctor Strange too.
Oh yeah, the
Because
madness in the multiverse.
when the first one ended, that definitely left open a door for another one. I
Oh
definitely want to
yeah,
see
yeah.
Thor, or no, Doctor Strange too. Because I do like Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he was
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
for that role. Fucking nailed it.
Oh, yeah. Like we've only seen him in only 4 movies, and you can definitely see how much his power increased, including Infinity War. If he would have used the Crimson Bands of Sidorak just right, he could have probably defeated Thanos pretty easily.
I do love the his appearance in Thor Ragnarok,
Hmm.
and like it was cool to like see him again, and to also remind everybody, yeah, we're all in the same universe.
Yeah, yeah, that was a
And
nice touch. Yeah,
I do like the scene where Thor's sitting in the chair
and then the
and then the
beard.
beer forms. It's like if that was me, it better be fucking ice cold Dr. Pepper.
For me,
It'd be really or a Nos at least or a Mountain
for me,
Dew.
it'd be a Guinness. Just
Guinness.
Guinness is continuously be like, "Hey, Strange, thanks," and just slam down Guinness all
Doctor
day.
Strange as a bartender would be dope as fuck. Like he
Oh
owes
man,
somebody a favor and
that
he
just
has
sounds
to be a bartender.
that just sounds like a great that just sounds like a great idea for a stop motion now. Just have this
You
fake
have to do
table.
yes, you have to do this now. You have to have
Yeah,
like
especially the modifications I did to my Doctor
okay,
Strange figures.
so
Like,
John is just about done with his movie, and I think we should do is you should have a stop motion animation of
I'm
everybody.
nowhere near done yet, dude. I still
You
got.
need to do this. You need to have all your characters in the movie that you're making have like a rap party, and they're all at a bar, and Doctor Strange is using his powers to serve up drinks. Like, go nuts with it.
Oh
Be
my god.
creative. It'd be oh god, him as a bartender.
Or do like
It'd be like a sitcom.
or do a post credits or even better, do a post credit scene
Of him as a bartender.
of him as a
Serving
bartender.
everybody
It'd be like
drinks.
right after the whole fight with the Transformers and Marvel figures and the Avengers, and they're like, "Man, you know what? We need a drink." Hey, now the Transformers leave like, "Hey,
Should
Doc,
have it.
you know."
Should have it arranged like it's the bar from the show Cheers,
Oh
and have like try to get like
my
a
gosh.
Ted Danson action figure, make a cameo appearance. Ted Danson makes an appearance.
That'd be a lot of that'd be a lot of engineering. I'd have to like use cardboard. I had to look at reference photos and stuff like that. It's just, but if like,
Not like an exact replica of
but
it,
something
just,
close to it, you know, like
yeah, somewhat close.
and
Like a
try to
basic
come up with a
lineup.
parody of the Cheers theme. Really plays right at the end, like
Somebody-
sometimes you want to go to a place that's strange.
Somebody on YouTube,
you know.
and I know you've seen this. Somebody on YouTube did that, but it was Swerve's
Oh, yep,
bar
yep.
from IDW. They did that. It was
And
it was so cool.
and
to
then
watch.
there's this one YouTube channel like how it should have ended.
Oh yeah.
They have a parody
Of Cheers.
of Cheers where the villain it's called the Villain's Pub, and all the villains go there. And they have this entire Cheers theme episode. I think. Yeah, I'd have to send you the link sometime or put it up on YouTube. But I mean, or put it
Because of
on the
course,
page.
a
Yeah.
bar is where villains and bad guys would hang out,
Right.
or someplace like that. Yeah, but
let's get back on track here. We're kind of going off the rails here. We need to.
Okay, it just reminds me so much now of like there's that picture of Harrison Ford. He was at like a party at a bar somewhere, and it's just him with like some liquor pouring it into like a glass, and the caption said Ford Fiesta.
Okay.
It works with that caption and without it because that is a good picture of Harrison Ford.
Man, I wonder how Indiana Jones 5 is going to be. I really hope they
So
make it good. They better at least. I know Harrison Ford's getting up there in age, and honestly,
yeah.
you know, I kind of want him to take it back to at least the 40s, because with technology nowadays, they could de-age Harrison.
I read
Technically, they could do it that route.
I think about a month ago, I read an article that him and Spielberg and everybody else at Lucasfilm are talking about wanting to do one more Indiana Jones movie, and Harrison had the idea of like he wants to do one more and that's it. He doesn't want to do any more because he is getting old, and he has the idea of like the movie and Indiana Jones has to go out with a bang. Like he has to do something where it shows like, yeah, this is his last adventure and he's done. Like he's going out with a bang.
Oh yeah.
Like he's probably gonna end up sacrificing himself
for the greater good.
For a greater good to save humanity, and that will be it. And I think they want to make it so like it'll also show that the world from that point on won't really need Indiana Jones anymore. And like no one can replace him. But like someone did do a Photoshop picture of
Chris Pratt
as Indiana Jones. I'm like, that could work in like another 10 years from now.
Yeah.
But
it also depends on how far Chris Pratt ages too. You know?
Yeah.
There's that, and then like if they do it way back in the 40s again, have him fight against Nazis, you know, you'll need a body double to actually be able to, unless Harrison can still do his own stunts. They're going to de-age him. They'll have to do like how they did in Tron Legacy with Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, that's when the whole de-aging thing was just starting to take off.
Definitely. And the way, and then now there's this movie I kind of want to see because, you know, I've seen a lot of Will Smith movies and stuff growing up and whatnot, and it's called Gemini Man, where Will Smith is pretty much playing one character, also playing another character that's younger. Like it's like it's like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air Will Smith era. So like it looks interesting, it does. But yeah, there's a topic you want to talk about that was kind of huge at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah,
very huge.
We'll talk about this just to get it out of the way, and then we'll go back to like what did you get and cook this week.
Yeah,
we'll go from there. But we got to talk about this. So San Diego Comic-Con with the Hasbro booth. Hasbro released the official, and I can't. It's impressive, but I don't see the point in owning it because of the price. Because $575 plus shipping, which is, you know, plus the shipping and the tax, that's almost $600. That's like making a car payment or paying for some big car repair. You would be better off just putting that money into your savings.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's impressive, but here's the thing, and the guys from TKO and everybody else on Twitter and Facebook have been talking about this like crazy. everybody said, well, this is what people wanted, but now everybody's bitching, complaining about the price. Yeah, but our buddy Catfish said, and he had a good point. He would be, and be too. I would be perfectly fine with buying just like a masterpiece figure of Unicron that's only like 16 inches tall,
Yeah, yeah.
or maybe like 12 inches tall, masterpiece quality, so where I could still put it on my shelf or display it in planet mode. I think something like that would have been a lot more logical, and then do the
Hmm.
same thing for Primus too.
Right, right. I
Something like
agree.
that would have been a lot more agreeable and logical, and have it priced at maybe $100, 130, I guess, because it's masterpiece.
And one of the things that I've noticed is that the Armada Unicron is still a really good figure. I think it
Yeah,
still holds up.
yeah.
All they need to do
You'd be
is
better off going on eBay and
yeah,
buying
buy one
one.
of those or one of the KO companies. Be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's modify this shit.
Well,
Let's
someone.
tweak it up. Let's make it a little bigger. Let's make it stand about that tall.
There's a third party company already making a third party Unicron, which is supposed to be way smaller. It's like, yeah, that would happen, but I
Yeah.
don't think there's going to be a KO version of this Unicron.
No,
I think
no,
there's just going to
no.
be either,
And
it's probably just going to, most people are probably going to want to get that third party Unicron.
yeah. And I saw a transformation video. I guess one of the workers that were breaking down
Is
and
it the
doing.
one that's dressed in a tuxedo?
Yeah,
I don't get that.
I saw it, and I'm like
That makes no
watching.
sense to
I'm
me.
watching him transform. I'm like, it's a lot of panels on this thing. Like
Yeah.
I thought who's a very panel heavy figure I have.
What does the term kibble mean? I've heard people say that word in the
It's
fandom.
like
What does that mean? I know it's a dumb question,
it's
but
like extra parts hanging off. So
oh,
it'll be like the panels on Unicron are like that'd be kibble.
okay,
Like on your recent figure, the back is kibble.
okay.
Yeah. So I mean, great. It looks great. It does. Looks really good. But hey, if you have the money, I'd rather go. I'd rather put that
Yeah,
in my account and save up for a 2012 Camaro or
yeah,
something for
something
like
something more
$8,000
something
manual
more
transmission.
practical.
But
It looks great, but I mean, if you
it's
have the money to burn,
it's not
okay.
it's not in my budget.
But if you did wanted to get it, I think you'd be better off just having it in planet mode on
Mhm.
display. Because most of the time he was in planet
In
mode,
the movies, yeah,
anyways.
he was.
He
In
was
the
mostly
movies,
just
in
planet
the
mode.
movies, in the show, and even in the Armada and Energon show, like he was in planet mode most of the time. It was like only toward the end of the series is when he officially transformed and revealed Unicron. Same in Cybertron when Primus finally
Yeah.
revealed himself. Like, wait, what? Cybertron is Primus? I didn't see that coming. Did you?
No, I did not.
But
Well, that and I still have to say, Catfish made a point. Just like a 16-inch tall masterpiece, this Unicron to put on your shelf would be way more logical. Is what the
right.
Hasbro should have done.
Yep, I agree.
So, yeah, but I copied and pasted some of the stuff here from Hasbro. Quote, quote, the ultimate figure of the Chaos Bringer comes to reality via HasLab. This massive transforming toy will stand at 27 inches tall, and his planet mode will be 30 inches tall, or 27 inches tall and 30 inches wide in diameter. Among other features and gimmicks, we can mention 50 articulation points, including articulated fingers, movable, which is like third party or KOs would do, movable eyes, articulated mouth and teeth, posable planetary rings,
Holy
19
crap!
pounds of pure evilness.
19 pounds.
So, yeah. So,
Man, if they made
this,
that thing out of die cast, that'd be like almost 50 pounds.
yeah. So, I don't remember where I got this quote here. It might have been from TKO or from somebody else. Why the fuck would we get this? And who the fuck cares? $575 is overkill and like third party pricing. Which, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember who quoted that or who said that,
Yep.
but yeah, that is a good point. And I said, fucking payments for Unicron. What is this, a fucking car payment? Because Rent a Center
Hmm.
has an option for you to actually make payments for this thing as if it were a fucking car.
Seriously?
You can do like either 15 or $50 a week or a month to pay this thing off. Why the fuck would you want to do that anyways?
If I'm gonna buy anything offline,
That's
if
so
I'm gonna buy a
goddamn
Transformers or
useless.
SH figure arts, I have the money. I'm buying it or placing the bid on it, and then it's mine. I'm not worried about giving money to anyone else except for the buyer.
I also said largest Transformer figure
Jesus Christ.
Unicron from HasLab, and it's bullshit liber gender. I said that though, but yeah, that's just fucking horseshit. But at first it's like okay, it's a cool idea on paper, but in reality, with how big it is,
Right,
no.
right,
And they're
exactly.
supposed to
Yeah.
have at least 8,000 backers by the end of this month, and they've only got like 2,500.
Good luck with that.
But
Like, I don't have my, you don't have my back on it because fuck
no.
that. You know, I could go online and find an Armada Unicron for like $100. But now I'm curious. Now I'm curious now. Hmm. Let's see here.
See, it started with Metricplex being the largest figure they made, and then it was Triptychon, Fortress Maximus, and then all the third-party KO versions of those figures, and now Unicron. See,
For a complete box one from Armada,
100,
$129.99.
$130. Shipping included or separate?
Free shipping.
See, you're better off just buying one of those from eBay.
Well, here's one for 198, but still that, you know, you're getting a box transformer from 2003 that still holds up, that still has potential to
I'm
be modified into more of a Generation 1 look,
I am
you know?
curious to see how big and how much that third-party Unicron will be. Because depending how big it is and the price, maybe some point in the future I could get that like Dairy Con or something. Because
Oh, yeah.
that to me seems way more um, realistic and practical. So, anyways, what did you cook this week and what did you get?
I actually didn't really cook a lot this month with the whole move
I
and stuff. Like, I really didn't do a lot of cooking.
Neither have
I
I.
was just so busy and
I haven't. I did Pizza Hut the other night and leftover Pizza Hut last night, and even before that, all I have been doing is just stuff I got at the store, just pre-made food where I just take it out of the fridge or put it in the microwave, and that's it. I haven't done any cooking. I just don't feel like it. I feel
yep.
like cooking is more enjoyable when you're actually in the mood to make
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
It feels better that way.
Yep. I just hopefully when the gas line and the oven gets all attached, I can start cooking my own food. But
Well, what did you get? Because we'll start with you, because I got quite a bit since the
I
last show.
I got quite a bit too. Like for one, I upgraded the tech for the
Yeah,
laptop. You know, we're
very nice computer.
even though we're actually recording the show instead of going live because YouTube's probably updating or something. Because I know for a fact it's not my laptop. I already know that much.
And yeah, and I had to get my phone software updated, and for some odd reason, all the pictures on my phone were deleted. Where yeah, 2 hours ago, I had all my pictures and it was working perfectly fine. So
That's weird. But yeah, but a couple of the things I got was
yeah, you've been sending me pictures. This looks really good.
the
This
Mark 50 Nanotech set
It's the
to Iron.
ultimate Iron Man.
It is actually no. I never. I like. I heard good things about this. You know, I really didn't really hear anything too bad. And honestly, it's really good. Like you know, you can have the normal suit. Like you know, you can like you see that little blaster bit right there. You can have just a normal the entire normal armor from the movies, and then of course the weaponry. Everything detaches, and then you can.
Cool.
Well, of course, the back piece is actually. I've just put that in the box. I just grabbed. Apparently, it's like some sort of head thruster. I don't know, but I just see it as like a flight stabilizer or something.
That's what it looks more like, something for flying. But that looks really cool.
But then you just plug and play, and it kind of makes me want to get the some of the KOs for more of the nanotech because there's one with like bladed arms, forearms because the arms remove and stuff
I
like
think
that,
you sent me that
and
picture.
then the then it comes with the boots and some of the wings, like the big
Nice.
humongous boots. And then the original one came with the nano repulsor, which when in the movie it was like when Tony and Drax are like, no, I'll shoot, or when the whole confrontation, it's like, I'll shoot, all right, you shoot my guy, I'll shoot him. And like,
I'll
see
do
this
you
in
one
there.
better. Why is
Yep.
Gamora?
And
Which I
yeah,
read online that was completely
yeah,
improv.
yeah, definitely.
Which is great.
Yeah. And
Now
then
the Iron Spider you have
yeah,
that looks really cool.
it's a good figure. Don't get me wrong, but I've heard like this was another thing I wanted to touch on was quality control issues when it comes to action figures. You
Is there
got
an issue with it?
well, I fixed it for one.
Okay.
So the joints were too tight in the back of the spider legs, so I had to so they broke. I was because the spider legs are very very fragile. They're literally no joke. So I had to replace these joints here and make sure everything still is loose and whatnot. But and overall, like the figure alone is good. Like you take away the take out the spider legs, put the regular back on. It's still a good looking figure. It
Yeah,
really
no,
is.
it does. It
Like
looks really cool.
honestly, this is Essie's figure should have been more of an accurate, shinier design, like because you got that really nice metallic color, which doesn't well, it shows up a little bit better when you get up and frame, but
Yeah, the metallic looks pretty cool though. 'Cause this one's supposed to be like the Iron Spider,
yep.
right?
But yeah, those, and then of course the laptop, and I guess you can consider the house, that my parents got. So
Yeah,
well,
it's
it's not
more.
really mine,
Yeah, it's
but
more like your
yeah,
parents. But yeah, you just moved, and so far from what I've seen in the pictures, it looks like a really nice place. It looks a lot better than the. I was telling him the previous house he used to live in was just a giant outhouse. It
it
was
was
just a
terrible.
ghetto. It looked like something out of a fucking horror film.
Oh, definitely did.
Like, am I gonna get raped while I'm here? I'm just curious. Am I gonna find dead bodies in the wall somewhere?
So what did you get?
So a couple months ago, because this year has also been the 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters and Transformers, I finally, a while back, got Ectotron, the Ghostbusters Transformers crossover figure, and yeah, he is fucking badass. I love it. And yeah, he came with a green Slimer, comes with a proton pack. Um, I would say this is like half and half. Um, Half of it is completely based on the Inferno
And Bruticus mold
mold.
and Victorian.
Yeah, that
You know,
same basic mold they had for those figures, but the rest of it is like completely brand new and original. The car mode is perfect. Like it really does look like the Cadillac that they used in the movie.
Now, I was telling Chris earlier that I think you can either put this with your truck scale or your MP scale
Yeah,
because it looks like something that if if they would have like gave a couple more modifications, little tweaks here and there to make it that masterpiece quality,
a
it would
masterpiece
definitely.
version of that would be dope
Oh yeah,
as
it would
fuck.
be
It'd be
like
awesome as
yeah.
hell to have a masterpiece Ectotron figure,
Oh yeah.
which I wouldn't be surprised if some third party company decided to do a masterpiece
hmm
version of that. But no, that figure is really good. Came with a Slimer. And the other thing that was featured at San Diego Comic Con was the MP
Yep.
Optimus Prime
hmm
repaint for Ghostbusters. And some people were saying you can, if you have Ectotron in car mode, you can put it halfway through Prime's trailer, but it doesn't fit all the way
Because of the
because of the stuff inside. But
yep.
if you modify the inside, you can put it in all the way and close it, and that would look really cool. And the box for that MP Prime also acts as a proton pack, so you can wear it like a backpack, which I think that's cool.
That is pretty
I
cool.
think it's really
That's
cool.
really
I think
cool.
it's a really cool thing to have.
Speaking of proton packs, oh well, I know you're not done talking, but continue. My bad.
But overall, this is a really good figure, and it looks great with my collection of dioramas. And I've decided not to get the other comic books. I'm just gonna stick with the issue one, and that's it. I did see some pictures from the other issues, and the story does look interesting, but I'm still kind of salty about the way that they wrote the first half of the comic book in issue one. Oh, it's like, come on, IDW, you guys could do better than this. We've seen better. We know you can do better.
That is true.
But I got him a while back, and 2 weeks ago, I got my bonus check from work. I got $250. So I used it to get stuff for some dioramas I'm going to be making. And the rest of it, I got the KO, Combiner Wars, Downsized, Devastator for all the individual. But to have like another figure, but I have it with the individual figures. And then, because I'm going to put, yeah, I'll have him in combine mode and then the others in the individual robot modes
Mm-hmm.
for my other diorama to display. And then I ordered another set of KO aerial bots and just do the same thing with them. Kind of like how Mako Aspire from TKO has,
Right.
where it's like the combine mode and then the individual modes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I really liked how he did that, and that inspired me to upgrade my shells and make it,
Nice.
stand out a lot more.
Nice.
Which is why I bought all the LED lights and rearranged it. And I've gotten rid of some after rearranging some figures. But yeah, it's still kind of a work in progress. It'll look way better once they finally get the rest of the dioramas done.
Nice.
But yeah, I've definitely noticed I'm leaning more towards like Generations, Chug, Masterpiece, third party stuff as opposed to the movie figures.
Yeah,
I might
right.
keep a couple movie figures. I still like the movies because they're good, but in terms of the toys, I'm leaning more towards the other stuff because that stuff is way more appealing to me.
Definitely, I agree.
So
Especially the stuff I've been collecting, the third parties, Masterpiece. Um, Even I have the two movie figures I have that actually are in my collection right now are the more of the Masterpiece stylized figures like Bumblebee and Barricade included. And
but I wouldn't mind getting like a Wii. I don't know if there is a Weaving Barricade. Is there? If not, I'll just have to get some kind of a Masterpiece.
I know there's a KO because the Barricade I have is a KO.
Yeah, I'd be okay with getting like a Movieverse Barricade with the that one I have.
The Bumblebee.
Yeah, just so it's a little tribute to the Movieverse ones because I do like the Barricade. But yeah. Oh, and then I also had enough money to get a Masterpiece Skywarp KO figure from China for $40. Because I wanted to. I wanted to. Yeah. I wanted Thundercracker so bad because I love that shade of blue he has, and blue is my favorite color. Well, I couldn't find one on eBay, so I ended up just getting Skywarp instead.
Okay, nice.
So now I'll have a handful of Autobot Masterpiece figures and Decepticon Masterpiece figures. So
nice.
That is. Oh yeah, and I got a canvas and some paint for the backgrounds of my dioramas.
I've been dabbling in some diorama stuff myself too.
Yeah,
I designed try to design a battle scene ground for my SH figure art figures I have, and it went good. But then I guess I lost it, so I'm needing to find some materials and probably dabble in more of it. And
then all the other thing last weekend I ordered a bunch of movies from Amazon. So I got a bunch of movies on Blu-ray.
Did you get Endgame?
No, I did not because I got all the time in the world to get the Marvel movies. Relax.
Baseball bat. I'll take that freaking katana back there.
I got all the time in the world to get the Marvel movies.
I know.
It'll be, and I want to get them at pre-played Madison, so they'll be way cheaper on Blu-ray.
Okay, so
it'll be all right, bullshit.
So, anyways, the reason why I said speaking of Proton packs, I've been dabbling in a certain show that you've been telling me to watch for quite some time.
Oh yeah. So you're finally starting to watch Stranger Things. Okay, so how far are you into Stranger Things?
I'm almost done with season 2.
Okay. Season 3 is when things get really, really interesting. Like, if you thought season 2 was getting interesting, wait till the beginning of season 3. Like, it's really, I mean, from start to finish of season 3, doesn't feel like a whole show. It just feels like you're watching a really, really long movie. Because it's on Netflix. It doesn't have commercials. So,
That's one thing I love about Netflix, no commercials.
yeah, thank God. But it's such a good show.
It is
It
really good,
keeps you on edge and it keeps you wondering and
I
wanting
think
more and more.
my least favorite character in in season 2 right now is that one guy driving around the 79 Camaro.
Oh, that douchebag
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. I don't like that guy.
He's a really good
Yeah,
actor.
he is because I
And I'm
saw him in
sure he's a
the
nice guy in real life,
yeah.
but he's really good at playing such an asshole.
Because
But you see in season 2 why he's like that. It's because of how he's brought up, and it's because of his dad being such a fucking asshole himself. And that is pretty much like the logical explanation for why there's so
right.
many bullied, people or kids and teenagers that are bullies or assholes because of what's happened to them in their lives
Hmm.
because of either certain events or because of their parents.
Yeah.
And it always seems to be like the father figure is always the problem. Sometimes it's also
Hmm.
both the mother and the father or just the mom, but a lot of times it seems to be the father.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
season 3 it really dives deeper into his background and it's like I'll just say this, I won't spoil
No
anything.
spoilers.
I'll just say like it dives deeper into his past, and you do actually feel sympathy for him. Like you do feel bad for
That's
him.
probably why I don't really feel anything for him right now. I'm like,
No,
this guy's a
no, not
fucking
right
dick. I
now,
fucking
but
hate
you
this
will
guy.
feel something for him later on, and it's like, oh, the only reason he was like this is because of his dad and all this other shit that
My
happened.
favorite,
Like he didn't really deserve any of that.
my my favorite two characters in the party have to be Dustin and Eleven. And
Dustin
he's
Dustin is the
hilarious.
kid with the weird
Yep,
teeth.
yep. He's freaking hilarious.
That's an actual condition he has in real
Yeah,
life.
I know.
But he's a he. I watched him in an interview once. He's actually pretty mature for his
Yeah,
age.
he is. Yeah.
He's a pretty cool kid, and he is my favorite character. Like if my brother was like him, or if I had a brother just like him, it'd be so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But
And then 11. I feel her past is very tragic too. And in the season 2, he digs deeper into her past. Like
yeah,
holy crap.
it's like
And then I can't wait till season 3 though. I can't wait till I start.
season 3. It's so fucking good.
And
But
then my favorite adult character would have to be Hopper.
Hopper,
He's great.
there was a picture of him in season 3. He's got like this. He's been watching like Magnum PI, and he's like, he doesn't admit it, but you can tell it's implied that he's like becoming a fan of the show. He's got like one of those buttoned-up Hawaiian shirts that's like something you would see on Magnum PI, and he's wearing it, and with like his mustache and his hair, he's got like that dad bod going on. Ever since that fucking episode premiered, everyone on Twitter has been talking about that dad bod, and I was telling Quinn the other night just to cheer her up. I'm like, so there's this new thing that women like now called the dad bod. She's like, what's the dad bod? And I said, well, and I had to explain it to her because she's never heard it before.
Mhm.
She doesn't. I mean, she's on Twitter, but she doesn't dabble into it as much as I do because I'm a little bit addicted to Twitter. I fucking love Twitter, and it's like crack. So I had to explain it to her. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And I said, "It is kind of some women think it's sexy." She goes, "Maybe." Like, "Oh, thanks, you fucking bitch." I'm like, well, I tried. I'm just gonna go walk away right now. But
Yep.
no, I would have to say thanks to Hopper, they're making the dad bod
The dad bod great again.
the dad bod great again, or finally great for a change. Because after that, I saw pictures on Twitter of people taking pictures of themselves with the hashtag dad bod. I'm like, see, ladies, it's not that bad. It's more of like the thought that counts kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, yes, I finally have a chance.
Wait till Chris just all of a sudden just like becomes a dad. Just gets
No.
worse. Gets
No,
worse.
I do not. Quinn and I both agree we do not want kids at all. We've officially agreed we don't want kids. We want more because we want more money for ourselves and more money for all this shit.
That is true. I agree.
I know that
I
sounds
agree.
selfish, but on the other hand, it's actually more expensive than ever before to have a kid. And I heard on the
That is
news
true.
they
Yeah.
said a study that just came out said that the birth rate in America is at an all-time low.
That's weird.
So, well, I think it's perfect because look at China. They have 1 billion people over there.
I mean, they're
We really don't need any more people in the world right now.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
Which
But,
I'm all that's again that's another reason why I am all for birth control and abortions. It's not to look like an asshole. It's
I'm
just
not.
population control.
I'm not. I'm more pro-life. I'm like, I'm kind of against abortion, but it's your own idiotic fault that you got pregnant. You have these
You
options to
dirty
you
slut.
that you have birth control. The guy can wear a condom. This is why it kind of bugs me that my
I know,
sister
and it's
had two
like
kids, and then the guy fucking left her.
I know, and it's
And
like have you
call me
people?
old fashioned that if you're gonna have kids with somebody, you want to have that connection to be with that person and have a ring on your finger.
It's like
You're like, yeah, you can have foreplay and have
do
sex,
you people not know
but
what a condom is,
it's like, then you hear
or what a hand job is?
then you hear these people complain like about condoms, like my sister's ex, like, oh, they itch. Like, when I first time I had sex, I wore a condom.
It's
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So does that make me more of a man that I'm not complaining about a fucking rubber
they itch.
latex thing on my It's a good thing this is YouTube because I'm pretty sure we can say what the fuck we want. But
I've never heard that before. Like, then just go for a hand job or something that doesn't involve penetration.
I'll go fucking anal.
Yeah, no shit. There's plenty of advice. Cause just out of curiosity, I looked at it one time. There's plenty of advice and like a guide and steps to achieving that, and because you don't want it to be painful. You just want it to be easy for both parties.
A
It
wise
sounds like Dr. Ruth. Dr. Ruth.
a wise man once told me, "Sex can wait, masturbate." All right, so let's get back on track, dude.
Yeah, we're
What's
off
next
the
on the
rails.
agenda? Yeah.
So, well, we both talked about San Diego Comic Con and all this other shit and what we both got. Oh yeah, so there's a third-party figure, and it's basically just a repaint of Masterpiece Ratchet, but made to look like a taxi.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Like,
You can get it for like $50.
it's not bad.
Like if someone has it at Dairy Con, and if I do have enough money, I might just get it for the hell of it because it is kind of funny.
Like, what are you gonna call them? Tax chat?
Tax chat, third party tax.
Because
chat.
ratchet or tax hide.
Tax hide. Tax chat, tax hide. It would be. I'll have to say, if somebody bought that figure and repainted it to
right.
look like a taxi from like India, that'd be a little bit racist, baby.
Oh, thank you. Oh, the taxi service.
It's like
now.
that. There was that one joke from Robot Chicken where it was like
a bunch of Transformers that
were turned into taxis, and it was like it wasn't really racist. It was just making fun of like those stereotypes,
right? Yeah.
Of taxi drivers being from India or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was, but the main thing was like they were making fun of the Michael Bay Transformer movies, which is great.
I'm still waiting on Robot Chicken to do a Transformer special. Still waiting for it.
Yeah, they should just
They need to. They need to
do it. Just do it and be done with it. Mm-hmm. One and done. But so yeah, you can get that on TF Source right now and a couple other websites for like $50. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull it up on my computer, but there's they talked about this on TKO last or 2 weeks ago. There's a custom Masterpiece Sharktacon figure, and it does look like it's made out of fondant, which is like a type of frosting for fancy cakes.
Right.
Because when you look at it, it looks like it's made for a cake.
Speaking of TKO, the customizing powerhouse himself, Mako Aspire, has been really popular with his Megatron and Ratchet merge.
Yeah, so we gotta give him a shout out for that.
Shout out to him.
He got recognized on
Yeah,
YouTube and social media for that. 'Cause I don't think anyone else has really done that.
especially they took what the Siege Megatron
Yeah, it was
and the
Siege
Siege. I
Megatron.
think I don't know if it was the Ratchet or the Ironhide or did he
I th-
modify the face? I don't remember.
I think he just, if I remember correctly, he took a Siege Megatron. Part of it was like styrene
Yeah.
and other. I think it was either like some kind of a Ratchet or an Ironhide figure that he had, and he
Hmm.
repainted it. It was one of the two. Put them together and just repainted the whole thing to make it look like from that comic book. Because that the first time I saw that comic book cover of those two merged, I did think it was kind of terrifying looking. Like holy shit! Because it looked, but I think it was that cover and whoever
Yeah.
drew that. It looks like something out of John Carpenter's The Thing. But he did such an
He
amazing
did
job.
a
And
really good job.
what's that putty customizers use
Uh,
too?
it varies. It's
Because I think he used some kind of a molding putty.
a milliput,
It might have been something like
sculpt, super sculpt, sculpty. I mean, look at that. That's just
yeah. That I mean that's
terrifying.
cool. That would work as like a
God,
Halloween decoration
damn
too.
right. It's just one
And
of
he has
those.
the original comic
Oh
book
hell
cover
yeah! And I
too.
think and of course it looks like he designed. Look at that. It's like
Yeah, that's
there's
he did an
it's just
amazing job.
grotesque but amazing at the same time. Like god damn. Of course, photos won't load. There's some pro. Well,
Because you know, I mean that was from the comic books, but you know that with the
here's.
G1 series they would not have done that because they probably thought it
I
would have been too
mean, yeah,
scary
it
for
looks like he
kids.
used. I mean, Siege Megatron for one, and then
Another, well, he's got bins of just
yeah, just
various parts and styrene. He's very good with styrene.
look at that.
I think the ratchet part is just made from scratch and with other parts that he already had,
That is
and he put it
insane.
together. But yeah, he got recognized by someone on
Hmm.
YouTube,
Yeah,
and um, I think Mako Aspire's collection, his dioramas, and now that I would say out of those three things, I would now say that is probably like his masterpiece. Like Da Vinci had no, what did Da Vinci had Mona Lisa, which was a masterpiece of his. That is the equivalent of his. That's like his Mona Lisa.
oh yeah,
That's
definitely,
Mako's that
definitely.
is Mako Aspire's Mona Lisa,
Like,
and I will tell him that
oh yeah.
today. That is your Mona Lisa.
So back to the masterpiece of Sharkticon we have
So this
here.
was featured on our
Is it
TKO.
transformable?
Um,
Yes, this figure
it
transforms.
says I gotta zoom in here.
Yes.
This figure has been completely built by hand using a combination of styrene, epoxy sculpt, and heavy modified pieces of Legos. The figure features a multitude of points of
Articulation.
articulation, in both robot and shark modes. The Sharkticon has also been engineered to transform from shark mode to robot and back again.
That is
See,
amazing. Wow.
so what they did here was they made all of this out of whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So they got shark mode, a picture of it in bot mode, and the pieces here. So it's a bit of a part former
Right. Yeah. And then of course they went to the extra mile to even make a box
to
for it.
make a box,
I
which
mean, is that
I
what?
loved that they went, and I think it would have been cool if they took it a step further and did like an instruction pamphlet.
Oh, that would be insane. Yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised that there hasn't been an actual masterpiece Quintesson or Sharkticon
Right.
figure, but I'm sure a third party group will do that at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Because I do, yeah, probably because I think we talked about it on the show before. I think it was one of them is planning to do a third party Quintesson figure.
I think so. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a masterpiece Quintesson figure, which I'll definitely get and put with my G1 shelf, just because they were technically in the show, in the movie, and in the third season.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mako Aspire did a very good
Oh,
job
you
with
did
that.
a phenomenal job.
So, what are your plans for? What are you gonna get in terms of figures in the future?
Well, since my my 6-shot has a busted leg, and I fixed it on numerous occasions, and of course, it being a KO.
That clone droid?
The clone droid, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
That's
so
such a good looking figure.
it is. But I've been thinking about getting a third party version of it. I know there's the Hanzo, which I've heard good things about it.
So have I. That is a nice
But
looking
then
figure, too.
the generation toys, Fuma, Fuuma, which is like a third party, same height as the Overlord I have. Like I've been looking at that, I'm like, damn, this is freaking huge.
And it doesn't hurt if
then-
push comes to shove and you have to get the Hasbro one or the Takara version. Don't be afraid if you need to or you have to. Like it'll be okay either way.
Well, like it would scale with my third party masterpiece collection. That's more of the thing is the scale. You know, you want to have that.
Yeah.
You know,
I know some
there's people
are
about
the
scale and stuff, and you know, with like I'm doing a stop motion with 6-inch action figures and masterpiece scale Transformers. So
yeah.
And I want to explain that later on in part 3, because I got to hopefully start going back into production in part 2 sometime next week, hopefully.
Nice. I have a list here, but I'm just gonna wait till DairyCon to get these guys. I did pre-order Lancer from BigBadToyStore.com for $21 because I haven't ordered anything from Big Bad Toy Store in quite a while.
Same here. Like
most of my stuff's either been coming from Amazon or eBay.
Usually, you can find better deals on eBay or Amazon than you can on.
Well, I did see somebody was already selling a Lancer for like $85. I'm like, I can wait because $21 is way better. So, BBTS said that one won't come out till some point in November, I guess. And all the other fembots from the Siege line and the ones I don't have, I'm just going to get at DairyCon. So I'm going to get Greenlight, 6-shot, the Siege Rainmakers.
Yeah, I saw photos of those. Yeah, those look pretty good.
I'm going to wait and get those at DairyCon because those look fantastic. The color schemes look great. And then I'm going to get Elita 1, Siege Chromia, and then that one we already talked about, and that one too. But I found a guy on YouTube. He had a video of a custom-made masterpiece scaled space bridge from G1, where the lights are purple and they go around just like in the show. I thought that is so fucking cool. And you can actually take it apart.
That's awesome.
You can take a section of it apart, put your figures inside, and put it back together. And he made it so you can take it apart section by section for shipping. And he also made a control panel and a generator. And the generator, you lift it up, and the batteries are inside for the lights.
Oh, wow.
And it's all been scaled to masterpiece sizes. And he had a couple of videos of him on YouTube, and I found him on Facebook. He also knows Mako Aspire. His name is Scramble City Customs, based off the infamous Scramble City episode. And I was looking at some of his work, and I was like, oh, okay, so he uses like styrene and different kinds of foam board and shit like that. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to ask him about the space bridge, because it looks really cool. And I asked him, how much do you charge for a space bridge? And he said, $200. And it's fairly large. It's like, kind of that big. It's almost like a big cake. So I have been debating for almost 2 or 3 weeks now if I really, really want this, or because I kind of like, on one hand, it would make sense for me after my dioramas to just make my own space bridge. So I made one for you.
That's right.
Basically.
Freaking thing still.
But on the other hand, it's more G1 accurate, and the craftsmanship is, of course, better than mine. But it still looks good, though.
Still did a good job, and then
so it's like, it would be way more efficient to just make my own. To make my own like I did last time, but at the same time, it's like I really want a G1 accurate space bridge, just like the show.
Where, if
So
you got it, where the hell are you gonna put it? I mean,
I would put it up on the top shelf up there, and where Bruticus is standing, I would make him stand in the center of it, so it looks like he's either coming or going. That's how I would handle it.
nice.
But I know not this Sunday, but maybe next Sunday, depending on how things go for me, I might get back at it with overtime again, and just try to get enough hours where I can get like an additional $200 in my paycheck, because I'm not, especially now that I got a raise.
Right.
Because if I get more than like $800, then it's like, yeah, I'll just order a space bridge. And my buddy XenoWorks Dioramas on Facebook is he's working on some dioramas, and he's gonna start working on the other diorama I ordered from him.
You gotta get a hold of that guy and see if
It's
you can.
he's pretty much recreating the bridge and the ramp from Mako Aspire's Stunticon's shelf, where it looks like they're out on a highway. He's pretty much recreating that, and he's gonna send it to me. I haven't heard anything from him yet, but I gotta check in with him
Right.
today and see how it's going. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've got going on coming up in the future.
I start college in the next couple of weeks.
So, so you're still going to school for a mechanic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's like a 2-year thing, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a 2-year course, and
Okay.
then
2-year course.
I'm still trying to make decisions on what I want to do. Do I just want to go to college and use it, or do I just want to use college for myself and then go a different route? It's just
Or just play it by ear.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go along. Well, I was gonna have you look at my car, and I thought, well, he doesn't need experience. He needs to learn all this stuff. But I wasn't sure about your schedule and with how it's been for you lately, so I was like, I'll just take it to the shop down the street and have them work on it for me.
all right. That's fine.
That way it's one less thing you have to do. You have to do one less thing.
As if I have enough going on, but I mean,
I had something on the tip of my tongue. Now I just lost it. God damn it. Oh well.
what else was on the list?
So our friends over at TKO, it sounds like the last episode
yeah.
will be
Episode 100.
January 2nd. But it also sounds like even though the podcast will be done and over with, the guys will still do stuff, and it'll still be TKO, but it just won't be the podcast.
That's probably just be TKO if anything.
Yeah, it'll still be like they'll still do different videos of whatever.
Yeah,
they just won't have the podcast.
Yeah, like, there's some of the videos that Catfish that they post on the page anyway, like
from time to time.
from
So
time
probably
to time.
like
I mean,
stuff like that. More
I'm surprised.
often now.
I'm surprised they haven't gave us access to TKO and like make like let's make a stop motion and post it on. We'd be like, hey, what the Hanson put on our freaking page this time? Let's watch.
So I figured
Christmas special, very nice.
We'll just keep listening to them because we're big fans
Yeah.
of their show and we're good friends with them. And I figured we could probably just keep going on with our show.
Yeah.
And we could still have it as like a spin-off. And I think what we could do at some point is have one of them on as a guest. We could have them on as a guest one at a time.
Yeah.
But we'd have to do that in Google Hangouts.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, we can do Google Hangouts on a phone or your computer, where they can both where everyone can hear us. And
I would have to
at the same time record it. And
on my end, I would have to have it on my phone because for some odd reason, the webcam I have, it works great with Skype, but it does not cooperate with Google Hangouts for whatever reason. I don't know why. So on my end, I'd have to have it on my phone. But then I think it might be possible from record it and save it on my phone and send it to like my Google Drive, and then
Okay.
from
Yeah.
there upload it to YouTube.
Do that. Yeah.
But um, so I think we'll probably just keep going on with our show, and then we could probably we know there's fans out there that are fans of Transformers, but if they're also fans of like other franchises, I think it'd be cool to also have them on as a guest and to talk about that other franchise too, like kind of broaden our
Like
horizon.
Marvel.
Yeah, like if they also like Marvel, we could have a good chunk of the show
No
talking
DC.
about Marvel. No, we don't do DC.
We don't do DC.
It's like that meme of Black Panther. We don't do that here. We don't DC here. We don't talk about DC here.
I mean, like
There's a meme of that.
like we do G.I. Joe, Star Wars.
Yeah. There's a picture of King what's his name in Black Panther? King T'Challa?
Yep. T'Challa.
T'Challa, where instead of his T'Challa's face, it's Beetlejuice, and he's like, "We don't do that here." But the caption said, "When someone gets salty about a really funny joke in the page on Facebook, and it's Beetlejuice. We don't do that here." That's a good one.
Yep.
I should just replace it with JC's face. We don't do that here, liver or gender. But no, I think we could just do it that way. The guy I was talking to, he's a big fan of the Alien movies in the franchise.
Okay.
I thought it'd be cool to have him on as a guest and to see what his collection is like and to talk about the Alien franchise and maybe compare Transformers and Aliens and talk about both.
I know another guy that actually lives in Orfordville who's a huge Transformers fan, customizer. I think I told you about him. I have to.
Yeah, you have to ask him.
I have to
maybe
talk
we
to
could have
him.
him on as a guest too.
I mean, we could have.
That surprised the shit out of me.
You know, yeah, me too.
Like, oh my god, we have another fan so close.
Yeah, and then I'm like, hey, you wanna hang around with me and one of my other buddies, and just kind of just have we have a little podcast show we do on YouTube, TKO Fanboys. We just talk Transformers and other shit, and do the 13 questions with him. That would give freaking JC and them to be like, holy shit, they got a fucking human guest and not over the phone.
Yeah.
Like with Bill, James as Bill.
We will
Oh
have to get James on again, but not doing Bill Cosby, just him as himself. And of course, the last TKO episode from 2 weeks ago, where it was James. Have you listened to that one yet?
I've been listening to it, yeah.
How far into it are you?
I think I'm almost done. It was after.
Have you done the additional 13 questions section of that?
Not yet, no.
Okay, I won't spoil anything for you, but there is an interesting story about James, and it gets pretty fucked up because of, I'll just say it was something to do with his neighbor. That's all I'm going to say, and it gets pretty fucked up.
Okay, I'll have to listen to it,
But no, it's good, and he did give me a shout out in that episode. All I have to do is talk about rabies. Like, thank you, James. I feel so honored that he said, "Welty became my fanboy." Like, thank you.
I do like his work though. Even some of the voice work he's been doing for me.
Yeah, he did a really good Overlord.
Oh yeah. I think
he's so funny. I asked him like, "Have you thought about
doing stand up?"
And he said he actually did it once.
Yeah.
I said, "Shut the hell up! Did you really?" And he goes, "Yeah, I did it for like, I think he said he did it for like a month, and they just couldn't do it anymore because of his work schedule, and it was just something he couldn't commit to." So I thought, okay, well that's understandable because there's some people out there that are really funny, but they probably figured that they won't do stand up; they'll just be funny for their friends and family. And that's it. Who the fuck are you texting? Who are you texting?
Friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
it's a woman again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a woman again.
Fuck, I knew it.
Can't live with
Tell her to piss off. We have a show going on.
Can't live with him. Can't live without him.
Well, you can
live without him, but you
just have to not give a shit. You just don't give a fuck. But yeah, we'll have to. But yeah, he did that for a while, and I was surprised. And I thought, okay, yeah, because if he could commit to it, he would be a really good stand-up comedian. Like I pay good money to see his shows.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
So one
Um,
more segment here is since you're going to school to become a mechanic, what has been so far in your life the best car you have ever driven, ever experienced?
well, actually, I told you earlier. I was actually I had to take a Mark 19 up to a unit in Bravo Company at
Hmm
14132. I took the U.S. government vehicle, of course, which is probably the only vehicle you can't really transport anything like that into a personally owned vehicle. So I took I think it was like a some sort of Hyundai. Only it was a hybrid. It was had
Was it
like
like brand
it
new?
was
How?
those U.S. government vehicles are pretty new. Those things are usually kept really clean, very
Yeah.
maintenance is just like the maintenance is good on them, and you're just driving. I'm driving this thing. I'm like, this is nice. And I'm driving it. I'm like, yeah. And then people are complaining, oh, you're going too slow. I'm like, well, this ain't my fucking vehicle. And then I'm going back when I'm going back to Janesville, like, you're going too fast. I'm like,
So fucking sue me.
what the fuck do you want from me? Do you want me to go slow or do you want me to go fast?
How about I just don't make me pull this car over?
I should just
That's worse than I'm turning his car around. We're going home. It's don't make me pull this car over.
yeah, yeah.
I'll backhand the fuck out of you. That's where my dad actually got his 2012 Dodge Ram. It was originally at like an no, it was a 2011. It was originally at a National Guard base, and they took insanely good care of it. Like even for simple little shit, if they took it out for a car wash, they would write it down in the log.
Yep.
Anything like that, they took really good care of.
hmm
And it only had like I think it only has like 45,000 miles on it. And my dad got a pretty good deal for it. So, and that thing, last time I saw my dad, he was driving it and it still looks like brand new because he takes pretty good care of any truck he's had. He usually takes pretty good care of it. And he's good at that, my dad. Um, so you would have to say that Hyundai. Well,
Even though
that,
it's not my car, I'm like, I'm
yeah,
not very into the whole foreign made thing, but it kind of makes me think like, man, if I had a car, I would want something like this. Like at least it has to be a Chevy, a Chevy,
well, they can be as long as you
but
take really good care
yeah,
of them.
of course,
But see, Hyundai, Subaru, Honda, and Toyota, those are all really good. But the best out of the four is a Toyota because my girlfriend's family, like the year that she was born, her grandmother bought an 89 Toyota Corolla, I think it was, and they had it for a long time. And the family took really good care of it, and because of that, it lasted them even longer. I think it wasn't until like maybe was it like yeah 4 years ago when my girlfriend sold it to some old guy or whatever,
hmm
and it was still running perfectly fine. Like yeah, the like has a little bit of rust on it, and yeah, the paint has faded over time, but it still started right up, and it's just a really nice little car.
right.
It's Toyotas are pretty reliable, but for me, I have to say Dodge Dodge Stratuses from like the late '90s are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're almost like a Toyota, especially if you as long as you take care of them, it'll take care of you. And then for about a year and a half now, I've had a 1999 Buick Park Avenue with a Series 3800 V6 supercharger, and that is honestly one of the best cars ever made. They're very well built cars. The engines are some of the best engines in the entire world that's ever been made from Buick and GM.
hmm
And they all have superchargers. So if you're on the highway and the interstate and you need extra horsepower, it'll give it to you for sure.
Nice.
And the only big major problem I've had with it so far was I had to get the water pump replaced and a new thermostat, and that was like $750. to have that done because not only did they have to replace those two things, but to get it out of the car was a bitch because they found that the car mounts, the bolts, nuts and bolts,
Mm-hmm.
also needed to be replaced, and two of them, the top part of the screw was cut off by accident, so they had to get a special tool to pull it out like
Yep.
that, and then they put new car mounts in, the new water pump in, and put everything back together.
Nice. Nice.
And I mean, I've had like basic oil changes and a tune-up and a few little things here and there that need to be replaced. But besides all of that, it's been a pretty good car. And lately, now that I just carpool with somebody, I just I've been kind of taking care of it best as I can and just babying it
Mm-hmm.
to have it last longer.
Right.
And one time, I even had an old guy come up to me and ask me what year it was. And I said, "Oh, it's a '99." And he goes, "How many miles does it have on it?" I said, "Well, it's got 200 and so many thousand miles on it." And he goes, "Oh, I had one and it lasted me all the way to 265,000 miles, and then I got rid of it and got a brand new Buick." I thought, wow.
That's awesome.
But no, they're just really well built cars.
Right.
And
Usually, older model vehicles are a lot better built than new models because everything's made out of plastic nowadays or carbon fiber, whatever.
yeah,
But mainly plastic. But anywho,
but last year, once I got those things replaced and fixed, I had to
mm-hmm.
drive down to O'Hare in Chicago and pick up Quinn from her vacation.
Right.
And it handled smoothly all the way down. And then back in April,
Yeah, and I was at TFCon when you went to Chicago.
yeah, that was the same weekend.
Oh
That was
God,
such a bullshit weekend.
we should have just freaking carpooled down there. Crash was fucking DA Bugs and JC. I mean,
Well,
of course I slept on the floor. I mean, like,
because I was still recovering financially from the car repair, and it was just, but I told you earlier that, a couple of things here and there need to be replaced on my car. I think uh,
and
it's a 20-year-old car. It's got quite a bit of miles on it,
I
but I
think
also
that
think it did take a bit of a beating, and everyone else's car took a beating during the winter season we had with how fucking freezing cold it was.
fucking transmission went out. That shit pissed me off.
I had to call in the one day because my car was having a hard time trying to warm up because it was so cold. I got up at 4 in the morning, got dressed, went out, tried to start up my car. It would start, but it took forever to warm up.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna call in and the roads were, and it made sense because the roads were still being shoveled and plowed, and it's like, so fuck this. And then there was another, like, what was it? I think it was like almost a month later. I thought, I thought somebody was at the door.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a month later. I had to call in again because freezing rain, and at one point, because at the time I had to pick somebody up from work, and he was like, "Are you sure you want to drive?" And I look around. I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it. We better just call in because it was freezing rain. It was getting bad." And I knew I should have just turned around at the bottom of the stairs here at my apartment because that morning I came down the stairs. I open the door, I look, and I see a car coming down, and they try to put the brakes on, and they just turn as they're going down the hill through the intersection, past the stop sign, went almost all the way up to like the back end of the middle school down the road, and I should have just like immediately turned around, closed the door, and just called in. I'm like, no fucking way. I'm gonna go on that road where goes up and down the hills.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's no fucking way I can do this.
Right.
So it wasn't until after that, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to lose my job, so I better start carpooling with somebody, and that's what I've been doing since. And it saves me gas and mileage in my car. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buick Park Avenues from 91 to 2005 are some of the best cars you will ever have. They're really good. You never know, you might get a chance to work on one.
Maybe.
someday.
depends.
Because the Superchargers, the Series 38 Superchargers are the best. It's like the equivalent of owning a Cadillac. With the nice leather interiors. Oh, fuck yeah.
Nice.
But I think I'm finally done with today's group therapy. We'll convene next week with hopefully making another step in progress with therapy.
Jesus Christ. Get your therapy shoved up your ass.
A goddamn liver of gender bullshit.
But,
Say it the Lord.
But yeah, like, thanks for watching the show.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know,
be back a month
hopefully,
from now,
Yeah, we'll
hopefully.
be back for a month from now. Hopefully, all kinks and stuff are smoothed out. I don't know what the hell's going on with YouTube. Hopefully, this show recorded really well. We're gonna find out here, and after I hit that stop button, and then
If we have to,
we'll say this is just a dress rehearsal again.
yeah.
But don't hold us to that. Let's find out here. So this is John Hansen,
Chris Welty.
and we're signing out.
Again, Peter.
Banner.
Press pause.
Stop.
No, stop.